Yagi Toshinori. He's a symbol for peace and shares many similarities to Western strong guy Superman. During his reign as the #1 hero in the world, he saved countless lives using superhero one-liners until Father Time catches up. It's not until he finds Midoriya Shonen to pass on his superhuman abilities in the legacy of One for All. This is First 4 Figures All Might Silver Age exclusive edition. This figure I originally received back at the end of January of 2022. He cost $134.99. I put a 10% down payment on the pre-order and paid the rest when the production of the figure was done. In the middle of making an unboxing video for this figure, I was disappointed to find out that his hair was broken. I was able to contact customer service where they provided me with a replacement figure. So for this video, I unboxed the replacement part. They just gave me what looks like the whole standard figure itself, which was really dope of them to do. Now I have an extra pair of regular arms to go with the figure. If you look at both boxes, the exclusive box is definitely a lot bigger with the bigger stand. Before I continue any further, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Please check out my anime and collectibles blog at otakusin.com. Recently, I just binge watched this anime called Bastard on Netflix. I wrote a whole blog post to help you guys decide whether or not it's worth your time. So if you guys want to check out what that anime is about and have a good idea if you should watch it or not, go to my blog at otakusin.com. This was my first figure that I actually received straight from First 4 Figures. Again, when I was in the middle of unboxing the figure, I noticed the hair was snapped off of the figure. Now, this takes us to customer service. So sadly, they deleted the ticket before I could get like screenshots of it. So this is purely going to be from my recollection. When I contacted customer service, they gave me 2 options for gluing it on yourself and getting a discount or getting a replacement piece. Of course, I want the replacement piece. So it ended up, they just sent me the whole figure because there was just no way to replace just the hair without giving the whole figure itself. So that makes a lot of sense. So I'm sure that cost them a lot of money to do so, but I really appreciate that they did provide me with the replacement figure because the figure legitimately arrived broken. Because their customer service is based out in the UK or in Hong Kong, I kind of forget. I had to respond back and forth like day by day, which is fine as long as, you know, you get what you want to get resolved. They had me flash the authentication card and make a YouTube video of it, of me smashing All Might, which is, you know, it's pretty funny. After showing them that I'm not trying to screw them over, I verified my information and they sent me a replacement figure. The only real downside is the fact that the shipping took super long. It probably took from about early February to the end of May or beginning of June for me to receive that replacement figure. So yeah, that is pretty much my experience with First 4 Figures. In the end, they did the consumer, which is me, right? For that, I really respect and appreciate their business. And don't worry, I will be buying more from First 4 Figures. I like a lot of their designs. I like, you know, their customer service. So that makes me an instant fan. So let's talk about the figure itself. So when you assemble this figure, it just comes with 2 pairs of arms. They're kind of difficult to take out and put in. You kind of have to rotate it back and forth to slowly squeeze the arm pieces into that shoulder socket. Even if you put it like 2/3 of the way, it'll look like it's in, but if you just kind of like, you know, take a step back and look at the figure, the arm is still not all the way in, so you have to make sure you'll continually need to rotate it until it's like all the way in. If anything, just use both hands on both sides to push both of the arms in to help get a balance in to get enough force to push it into the socket. Just make sure to watch out for the hair since the arms are in such close proximity to the fragile hair. And I'm not just saying fragile because I have that hair PTSD, but yeah. The hair is the most fragile and you want to be careful with that, especially with the amount of, you know, force and energy that you'll need to get that arm into the shoulder socket area. Yeah, when it comes to like the box of the figure, it's pretty freaking incredible, guys. It's like getting a really nice shoebox, but it's an anime figure within an anime figure box. So you have like the outer shoebox kind of look, which is really, really dope. And then you have like the typical anime figure box inside of it with the figure inside of that. So if it just came in that figure box itself, in that typical anime figure box, like I'd be pretty damn ecstatic. And it looks like the replacement piece that they sent me, it looks like that's how typically it comes in. Maybe that comes in the standard one, not in the exclusive one. But that shoebox thing, it's really cool, man. That probably cost them a lot of money to have that extra, presentation. Yeah, the colors, the feel, the design, it's totally different take than any of the other figure boxes I received. I just love companies that take risks and try new ideas and designs. So who cares if you fail, and if you fail, that sometimes it might not turn out the way that most of the consumers might like. But what you get out of it is innovation. And for me, like, this is something that definitely stands out than the rest. And it's a positive way that it stands out. So yeah, that's another thumbs up for me for first four figures. Looking at the sculpt and pose, I really like the way it was sculpted. This might be one of the most like iconic poses you can really get from All Might. Really, he's a really simple character to kind of make for. So out of all the other All Might poses sculpting out there, like there isn't that many high scale figures or high quality figures of him. So I think this one was one of the more better ones out there, or I think this might be my favorite. Then again, I don't have the other figures, but this one is definitely really, really good. There are some parts of his body where the plastic does look a little bit blotchy, like the hair area. Other than that, it turns out to be, it feels very durable. It looks fantastic. For the paint, it's not like, it's painted not in like an anime style or like a real life style. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's painted more like the manga style art, comic book kind of style, which is really cool. It's different, and it's different in like a good way. So looking at the painting errors, there are two areas that have me slightly concerned. Looking at the exclusive arm pieces, there's definitely a little bit too many errors around there for my liking. You can see like the paint rub against the figure with the paint defects around that shoulder area. And what I mean by that is just like maybe the manufacturers were testing out the arm piece to make sure it fits, and it got like too close to the figure and rubbed the paint off or the arms, which I can see how that happens because like I mentioned earlier, when you assemble the arms, like you have to like rotate it and kind of like ease it in or force your way in there somehow. And when you do that, when you're rubbing against like the paint and stuff, it's going to chip off and stuff like that. So I can see how these arms kind of mess up a bit, I guess. However, the standard arms with the standard replacement arms from both the exclusive and the replacement arms, they both look in good shape. Like there's nothing wrong with those arms. They're painted fine. So yeah, although the most egregious errors are those exclusive arms by the shoulder entry hole area and some of the paint like around his legs. The good thing about those like paint defects is that the fact that it's in the areas where it's like harder to notice. So overall, I would deem the paint quality to be, acceptable for like that $100 price range. Let's just talk about like the stand and the base real quick. I really enjoy what they did with the stand and the fact that it's magnets in the figure and the base that keeps it like in place. When you think of like typical anime figures, the base or statues, the base usually involves the setting of the anime figure of whatever anime that they're in. So the setting is usually out in the grassland or they're fighting or something. There's explosive, there's special effects. In this case, it's more of like that comic book manga centric portrayal, and you have the stand that kind of has all those pictures on him that really reflects the character. So it's done in a way where it looks like this is like a comic book figure, comic book stand. It looks like a panel off of the manga, so that's what makes it look cool and different. I also like the fact that you can put the replacement arms inside of the base. It's such a cool concept that I think most other anime figures don't really like venture off into. It's just nice to see something refreshing and different that's like well executed. Given my experience with first four figures and that they gave me a replacement part at no cost, that makes me an instant fan. having 2 figures now from them. I really enjoyed the quality and their take on the figures. There aren't many high quality figures, if any real high quality figures of All Might. So this Silver Age edition exclusive, we'll have to do. I do have the other 2 exclusives. I have those pre-orders from the First 4 Figure website. It's the Golden Age and the Casual Edition exclusives. To me, All Might is my favorite character in My Hero Academia. I'll probably have to make my own separate anime channel or video to tell you guys why he's such a great character. But yeah, that's all I pretty much have to say. Yes, I do recommend you guys get this figure if you're a fan of All Might. The quality is solid, the design is solid, and you guys are gonna love like the presentation from when you start opening it. You're gonna love everything about it. He was available on the Crunchyroll store for a bit, and it was the exclusive edition. And if you had a premium account, like he was listed at around 90 bucks, I believe. However, you can still pick him up from the First 4 Figure website. So if you're buying from the US, you'll probably pay the 100 bucks, but you'll probably end up paying an extra 45 bucks for the shipping. I paid $134.99 for this figure, but on the other figures, because of inflation for whatever, they charge an extra $10. So if you do buy this figure, it'll probably cost you $144.99. Let me know what you guys think about this figure. Let me know if you guys have any other All Might figures, or if there's any other All Might figures that I should be keeping my eyes on. Let me know in the comments. So yeah, before I head out, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out my anime and figures blog at otakusen.com. Check out my other unboxing videos on YouTube, and I'll see you guys on the next video.